Hello, and welcome back to Super Mario Mayhem. In the last video, we did some math. And in this video, Donkey Kong. That's right. We're still not done with Donkey Kong. We have reached 1984, and we are still not done with the Donkey Kong ports. Today we're playing it on the Coleco. No, not Coleco. We're done with. Not really. We're playing it on the Commodore 64, which is a home computer from the 90s. Again, I have not played any of these Donkey Kong ports that isn't the NES version. For this video, there's going to be two versions. There's this one, which was, I guess, created by Nintendo, but thinking about it, it's not really Nintendo. It's probably like someone else. And there's a later version of Donkey Kong from 1986 by Ocean Software, which I'm going to play in this video because I'm not waiting till 1986 to play that version. I want to be done with Donkey Kong at this point, if you can't tell. So, without further ado, let's play the game. I need it. Hold on, I need it. There we go. So, I was going to make a retrospective video on the experience of me playing all these games, but I feel like if you are an avid viewer and you just watch all these videos in order, you could probably get a feel of how I feel about these games, especially if you look at the descriptions. Especially with these later Donkey Kong ports. You could tell that I'm getting really tired of Donkey Kong at this point. It's funny, because for a video series called Super Mario Mayhem, it's funny how, like, 85% of the videos so far have only been about Donkey Kong. And not much about, Mario. But you know, 1984. We're 1 year away from the big one, but we still got still got some titles to get through before we get to the big one. But yeah, back to the game. It's Donkey Kong on Commodore 64. I want to say Coleco so bad, but it's not anything Coleco related. It's Commodore. It's like the first Commodore game, and I think it's the only Commodore game, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Like, when I started out this series, I knew that there was going to be a lot of these Donkey Kong ports. But what I didn't take into account was how quickly would I get tired of them. And beginning the games from 1984, you could probably tell I'm pretty tired of playing Donkey Kong. But thankfully we have a lot less of these ports. I mean, they're still semi-frequently within 1984, but once we get into like later on, it'll be a lot less prominent. There's a lot of good things coming in 1984. By that I mean there's a lot of titles that you could make an argument that is really a Mario game. Like for examples, one of the games on the list, if you look at the spreadsheet in the description, is Pinball, which you could make an argument that that's not really a Mario game, but I'm still gonna play it. Another example is golf. not NES Open Tournament Golf, but like the original Golf. You could make an argument that the person you play in, well, looks like Mario is not really Mario, but you know, just so I can, you know, cover everything, and like absolutely everything, I'll still play it. What you know? Dang. Yeah. On the topic of these ports, I can give this to some of the ports that they at least provide some more than the NES version. Like, the NES version isn't like the all-time best version of the game you could play. Let's be real, it had to cut a whole stage for a console that was quoted made specifically to play a near perfect game of Donkey Kong. And I even said that in the video about Donkey Kong on NES and Famicom. But you know, even with technically more faithful adaptations of Donkey Kong, a lot of these can be hit or miss. It depends on a lot of factors. One is controls, and you know, there's a lot of factors in it. Mainly for me, it's just control and feel of gameplay. But regardless, I've lost all my lives. I haven't really been talking about the game itself. It's alright. It's a Donkey Kong game for Commodore 64. And now let me boot up the Ocean software version of the game. And then you can see the boot screen for the Commodore 64. That sheen blue. Personally, I never even touched the Commodore 64 ever. There we go. Excuse the garbled graphics. This is just how it starts up. It looks normal afterwards, but this is the Ocean software version. I believe it came out in '86, but as I said in the intro, I'm not gonna wait until we get to the games of '86 to play this version, because again, I'm tired of Donkey Kong. I want to get these done over with. So, let's get started with this version as well. One thing you might notice is that it's a lot louder, personally, than the original 1984 version. It's also a lot more scrunched up. And I forgot I had to use the numpad, because apparently this game doesn't support a controller for some reason. The graphics are a lot more smaller than the original, the 1984 version. Which, you know, makes it a lot more like the vertical aspect ratio of the original Donkey Kong. But you know, with these ports, that's not really something I really care about. Turn down this slightly. You know, again, this is, again, more Donkey Kong. I want to see if I can at least get to the 100 meter this time. I know that I haven't been, like, you know, showing off all of the stages in these ports. Mainly because, one, some of them don't even have all the stages. And two, a lot more time spent playing Donkey Kong. And usually it's an inferior version of Donkey Kong. And also, a majority of these ports follow the international stage order, which means I have to play more of the game in order to see everything it has. Which you know is something that I don't want to spend too much time doing. Trying to be careful here. Alright. We'll give this one more go, because, you know, I haven't gotten that far. And for some reason it just starts up a new game immediately. Oh, we have to watch the cutscene again. I think is that a lot of these ports also include... Some of these ports include the intro cutscene, which is absent in the NES version. Mini, get out of the way. You're blocking my screen. Sorry, my cat likes to jump up on my desk and like move around. 2-player. Uh-oh. I feel like it did that because of me tinkering with the numpad and it's identifying as a like a number input. But I guess we're gonna showcase the 2-player, which you know, in the arcade version and in all subsequent versions is take turns with the second person. There's no, we're not quite there yet with co-op games, and I keep dying. Alright. I just want to get to the second stage already. For some reason this feels a lot harder. It might be because of the smaller graphics. It's kind of hard for me to gauge when I need to push the button. Come on, get up there. Cool. Oh, that's surprising. Starts out on the pie level. Interesting. I wasn't expecting it to go to the pie stage in the second stage. But yeah. I guess it's following the Japanese stage order then. Let's climb up there. Let's hope 75 meters isn't as troublesome as it is. Alright. Now that's a surprise. I wasn't expecting to, like, see all the stages in this version. I was expecting it to just, you know, do first level, then last level, and then add a new level for every loop you do. But no, I guess it does all of them. I don't know how I even died there. But since that is the case, I'll probably just kill off the second player here. Considering that, first of all, I didn't really want to do 2-player. I think that was just, I hold down something too long, and it considered that as a 2-player start, but yeah. Nope. And I just realized that Hold on. I have realized that I have bounded the scene change to the numpad, and I forgot about that. Whoops. Yeah. Sorry about that. I forgot that the 2 on my numpad changes the scene on OBS, which I use to get the close-up shots for the Game & Watch games that acquired it. Try to not die here. I'm not sure how I died in the first place, but this is my last life. Gotta be extra careful. Alright, go. Sweet. Alright. Here's the last stage. 100 meter. Let's hope it is not a pain in the ass, because this stage always scares me because of these darn fireballs. Come here. There we go. Alright. I have to be extra careful with these fireballs, because they are particularly tricky to jump over. Whew! That was risky. Alright. Alright, this is good. Let's quickly take out all these rivets. Down there. There we go! Hey, for once in these ports I showed off like all of it. You know what? I think this port is alright. This is the second best computer based port of Donkey Kong. Atari 8-bit version is still the best version in my opinion, but this is a close second. You know, Ocean Software did a pretty damn good job making a Donkey Kong port for the Commodore 64. Let's see how long I can last. And I've now been noticing that the barrels are green, which, you know, limiting color palette, that's excusable. Kinda like this version. This is oddly easy. Oh my god. That fireball was charging at me at full speed. I don't think I can... Can I? I'm gonna be safe. Because I'm scared of going up there, touching Donkey Kong, and dying. Alright. Well, that's my last life. That was better than the... There we go. Cool. Alright. That's Donkey Kong for the Commodore 64. Both two versions. The first version was, you know, it's alright. It's a port of Donkey Kong. But the Ocean Software version is surprisingly good. I was kind of shocked. I was coming into this with the lowest expectations. It didn't really catch me in the initial for initial impressions, but I was surprised by, you know, that it followed the, you know, the Japanese stage order, so I don't have to play like 3 loops to see everything. But you know, out of the 2 of them, play the Ocean Software version. It is really good. So that's going to be it for this video. I feel like the retrospective video I mentioned in the Donkey Kong Jr. Math video is probably not going to happen, which is a shame because I made a really cool piece of art for the thumbnail. I'll probably put it in the end of this video. But most of the points I want to talk about in that version I mostly mentioned in this video, which is mainly just me talking about how much Donkey Kong I've been playing so far. And I am looking forward to not playing much Donkey Kong in the future. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Next game is more Donkey Kong, which is probably going to be the last Donkey Kong port for a little bit. So, I'll see you next time.